So I got my wood stove installed in my van. This is a Cubic Mini Cub. This is the secondary adjustable combustion. Flame's starting to die down now a little bit. There we go. This is the main air adjustment. It just covers those little ones. That doesn't work out so well. But yeah, I just put 4 little 1/4-inch bolts through here. And see my other video on how to take these out. There's just a little clip on the side that you pull up. And the drawer comes right out. And then I've got 4 1/4-inch bolts in the bottom of there, holding it to the floor. But what I think I'm going to do is put some 2x4s under there to give it a solid base, because it's just metal like this. So I want it to be solid on the bottom, so that the weight can actually sit on the bottom of the frame rather than the edges. But it survived one day of driving so far. This is a double wall stainless steel pipe from the Cubic Mini's website, and it works really well. I recommend double wall pipe. But this is my Dectite number 3 fitting. The orange stuff, it's silicone. But if you look how see this pipe, how it has this crease? Oh, ouch. Well, that crease makes a little opening in that Dectite number 3 fitting. So I can't show you from this angle without burning myself again. But that makes it so just a little bit of rain will come down. So it needs some flashing. I think it's called a storm collar, and it needs some high temp caulk around that. That would fix that. I also need a little piece to grab around here and then mount to the wall. And I also want to mount this to my bed frame probably, so that it'll stop force from when it tries to go that way when I brake really hard. Or maybe I'll have a piece of wood that goes over here. This will be my shower. I want to have like a 7 or 10 gallon black tank underneath there, like running along the side edges, and then a fixed real RV toilet there, and I want it combined with a shower stall, because I don't really use this space anymore, and I realize the toilet wastes all of this vertical space, because I mean, you need to occupy this area, so you can't store stuff with it. These Trones will go on the wall over here. This fridge will go right there on the counter. I'll have some eye bolts through the tabletop, and then a ratchet strap to hold it in. Or maybe I'll get something better eventually, but it worked on my last kitchen. So that will allow me to have a bunch of shelves, and then I can have more water tanks. Yeah, that's the state of the build. I just wanted to show off my wood stove. Man, it's nice and warm in here. It's just great. And I'm not using any electricity for heating. No fan. And no diesel. I'll have to stop by the lumber yard to get some scraps to burn. Yeah, I love this thing, but I wouldn't recommend relying on one of these things. Like, get a diesel heater first. You need one of these things to stay warm all night, because you just press a button and it keeps you warm. And then you can press the thermostat on the max fan, and then that'll keep you from sweating when you wake up. But this thing is really nice for cooking and burning trash and staying warm in the day. What it's not nice for is you wake up cold every time. And waking up super cold really sucks. It's like a quality of life thing to me. And waking up in the middle of the night to feed the stove and to mess with the airflow settings and to keep it from getting too hot in here. Just all of that is it's a lot of fuss, compared to the diesel heater. You just press the button. So this thing has its place in van life, and I really love it, but it's not something that I rely on. If there were an apocalypse and I didn't have any more diesel, yeah, I would rely on this, but otherwise the diesel heater is the way to go. And I think it's actually cheaper. Well, if you run the wood scraps from a lumber yard, then yeah, that'll be pretty much free, except for you need paper to start the fire and a little bit of propane, because I use a propane torch, and that gets us started with the least smoke, because I can get it really hot really fast. But yeah, the buying wood from the store is actually more expensive than running the diesel heater. So the diesel heater definitely has the convenience and comfort factors, but this has the preparedness factor. It's like you always have warmth, because you can always scavenge cardboard and pallets. This also has the cooking factor and the trash burning factor, all things that the Chinese diesel cannot do. So they work well together. And I don't know if I mentioned this. This is a Harbor Freight red end cabinet. It's like 100 pounds. It's really sturdy, but you need something strong and steel to hold tools. If you have hundreds of pounds of tools, and you can pack a lot of tools in here, like everything I need, pretty much. Let's see what else to talk about. Yeah, that stuff's great. I love it. Maybe I'll even get it stoked up for you guys. Oh, and I'll show you the draw. So here, let's make sure the fan is off. Make sure it's closed. Make sure the window is open up front. And I'll show you. Ouch. So you can actually open the stove. And I'll demonstrate the airflow here. So see, a lot of air is going in and no smoke. Oops, that was a really bad idea. Oh well, that's what vacuums are for. So there's no smell coming out and there's no smoke coming out, because I have double wall pipe going straight up, so it has efficient draw. And well, maybe there's a tiny bit of smell coming out of the top, but I could really get some better, a better intake, like a tube from outside leading to the bottom of the stove. Or just, well, when I start the stove, I open the back door a little bit. It helps the draft. Here, I'll get this stoked up for you. Get some flames going. Oops. Okay, so that time you actually did see a little bit of smoke escape. So it's not perfect, you see. Whoosh. But I can improve that. Before I had have a vent in the floor right here, which I know it's really dark. You might be able to see it. Anyway, I have a vent in the floor above my fuel tank so that I can access the fuel pump easily without dropping the tank. And that made it so the draft worked really well. Kind of wanted to get a roaring fire going, but I don't have any more wood. It's the best you're gonna get. Here, I can get it started. So yeah, that's the Cubic Mini Cub in a van.